Hi guys, I want to introduce you to the owner of Oddity Studio. It's a super cool concept of melding a hair salon with an art studio. Come on in. So, as most of you know, I decided on a career shift not too long ago, and I got in contact with Alex. She was in this building that had these amazing suites, and I contacted her just to find out information about it, and we had this amazing conversation. So, when we were talking on the phone, she offered for me to possibly come and rent a chair from her. So, that's how our relationship started.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. We clicked immediately. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about how you started Oddity.
It all started, I guess, when I was in high school. Who knew? I wanted to create stuff like people that I followed on eBay. Back in the early 2000s, it was, the DIY scene on eBay, and I wanted to do that. So I didn't know how to do it. And I went to school. I went to hair school, and I have a career in hair. And I decided I wanted to just combine the two. Why not?
That's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you develop this concept of bringing artists in and having a hair salon at the same time?
So I think my biggest concept is I have a lot of artist friends, and they kind of were in the same boat as me. We don't really know where to go. Etsy's kind of intimidating a little bit if you don't have a lot of items.
And I've heard they take quite a bit of commission per se.
Yeah, I opened an Etsy account when we were closed during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was a terrible percentage, but I felt like when it comes to small artists who don't really know where to go or where to start, I wanted to kind of create a home for them, a home for my friends and other artists.
I love it. So what about the salon part? Like when you and I were talking, you mentioned that you wanted it to be like a speakeasy. Let's talk about that, because we don't really have outdoor signage to Oddity Studio, and it works really well. We both have full clienteles, always room for growth, but with that, we didn't really need a huge outside presence.
No. So there are a lot of salons out there that definitely are salons with boutiques and all that stuff. And I kind of wanted to create more of an open space with art stuff with a salon inside of it. So the whole concept with that too is I was a referral only stylist for maybe 2 years. And so I never felt like I needed that kind of signage anymore.
Right.
And we still take new clients as long as it's referred from a client. So it's kind of that speakeasy vibe. And I do have online booking for my clients, but it's kind of hidden. I made it a little bit more visible because I made it a little too hidden, but you do have to have a password for it. So I wanted it to kind of feel, that speakeasy vibe.
Yeah. I like that.
Thanks.
So I have not transitioned to the online booking for my clients yet. I'm getting there.
We will.
I know. So let's talk about the fact that you opened last January.
Yeah.
So you're 3 months into your brand new business, and boom, we get stuck with the pandemic.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Luckily for me, I have amazing clients. I was a little worried at first because, there's no income coming in.
Backup.
I now have overhead from a salon and my own personal bills. But I had a lot of clients who bought gift cards to make sure that I was supported.
That's
and that
great.
I love them. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
So we made it.
During that whole time, did you feel like you had a lot of creative energy? What were you doing?
I did a little bit. When I first started, when we first closed, there was a bunch of people in my life that were having babies or they were pregnant. So I had a friend that was, and I made her a baby blanket. My brother and my sister-in-law, they were pregnant. I made them a baby blanket. And so after 3 weeks of making 2 baby blankets, I kind of went into a hibernation mode like most people did. And so I did a lot of Netflix and I did a lot of video games and all that stuff. But it definitely picked up a little bit more once I got out of that hibernation mode. So lots of ideas of maybe new things to crochet, to bring stuff in. I didn't mention that I create crocheted goodies and that's what I sell here. But yeah, I guess I got that spark maybe the second round because I knew that I couldn't go back into that hibernation mode.
It's not a good place. It's not a good place.
Yeah.
I did the whole 2 weeks, like first 2-3 weeks of Netflix chilling out.
Yeah.
Day pajamas to night pajamas. But then, you get a little bored. So I did a bunch of like tutorials and put those on Instagram and Facebook.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, those were fun. So being that we're back and there's this whole new concept in our business, the suites. Yeah. Like they weren't a thing up until I would say the past couple years, especially in Rochester. Your options pretty much were to work in a big salon or work in a small salon.
Right.
So what are your favorite parts about having a suite?
Absolutely. So just like you, when I first kind of got the idea of this, I was looking for suites and they really are in bigger cities. So, I lived in Austin, Texas for a little while and they had suites there and I heard about it. And so when I was looking, I really wanted to find a space that I could create my own, but also work for myself, by myself, all of that stuff.
Like completely by yourself.
Yes.
So there's, both of us were in a rental situation. I still am. Mm-hmm. And even though you're a renter and you're self-employed, you do have, you're working with a team. So even though we are a team, we're completely separate entities within the same space.
Yeah.
So Alex has allowed me to have the freedom of Jen C Does Hair inside of Oddity Studios.
Yeah.
So it works great. It's been refreshing and people really, really are enjoying it. My clients love it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So,
I'm so glad.
Do you want to say the big announcement?
Oh, sure. So, I don't know when we decided this. I think it was kind of in the back of my mind for a little while.
Well, and I jokingly said, Alex, I think we should.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, the next suite over in the office suite, there was an esthetician. It was a small little space and she moved out of that space and it's been vacant for a little while. And we both joked about it at first, but what if we were to expand a little bit so we both had our own suites instead of having an entity in my little zone in my salon, kind of create the space for me and for Jen to have our separate entities, but still inside. Yeah. Not only that, but definitely due to, what's going on right now, COVID-19, we have been extra safe and we've been trying to kind of go opposite. And this makes it just so much more easier for us to have the flexibility of any time of the week, having our own rooms, and then people don't have to feel nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's coming up right down the pipeline.
Yep. So, literally, we're about to start doing stuff. And
we got keys yesterday.
Yeah. Woohoo! Keys. So that's happening. Within the next month or so, we're going to be working on it. And hopefully our hope is March 1st.
Excellent.
So
is there anything you wanted to add?
I don't know. Is there?
I don't know. I think we've done a pretty good job.
I think so too.
So I am going to continue doing videos. So please subscribe, like, or make some comments, especially comments. So if there's something you want to hear about, if there's something you're interested in, go ahead and tell me about it. And we'll see if we can get that up on the YouTube. And by the way, coming up in the near future, we're going to be featuring artists, makers, and eccentric sellers here at Oddity Studio. So stay tuned and subscribe.